Hey guys, welcome to Friday Focus. I'm here in Concord, Massachusetts, and it is so cool. I'm having the best time. I'm at a retreat. And so this is going to be pre-recorded, but you'll be able to comment and then I'll come back and follow up later. But today we are talking about what's your addiction? And the answer may surprise you because a lot of us are addicted to something that we are not aware of that we're addicted to. And that is addicted to our story, the story of suffering, the stories that we've been telling ourselves since we were younger. And so we're going to get into that. But first thing I want to do is, one of the things that I love to do is really get grounded and centered before I start any sort of training, and also before I really listen. If I get ready to go into a meeting or I get ready to be present to some training like this, I like to sit and just take in a deep breath and get grounded. So I want to encourage you to do that. So just go ahead and take a deep breath into your belly, and then release. And then take another deep breath in and release. And you'll be amazed at how easy that is. And you can do this all day long. So this is how I show up. I'm getting ready to go down to a training, and before I go, I'm always making sure that I'm really centered, present, really intentional. If you need help knowing more about being centered, present, and intentional, if you want to know more about that, comment below and I'm happy to go into that. But that is key in order for you to receive this information, in order for you to kind of listen to your inner knowing, the guidance from your higher self, for you to really understand what it is that you need to understand or to get from this time that we're spending together. It's important for you to be present and grounded for yourself. So anyway, today we are talking, again, what's your addiction? This one may surprise you. I'm going to go from my notes. So many of us think that we're messed up and that we're damaged goods. People will say like, well, I'm never going to change. And you know what? If that's your thought, you're right. You aren't going to change, because the problem is you are addicted to this story that you're broken and that there's something wrong with you. And I can totally relate to that. I had a story that I was stupid. I was in the dumb class at school, and I was told that, that I didn't learn the same way as everybody else and that I didn't get it. But, years later, not until 40 years later, really, 40 years in my life, 47, I learned that I was intelligent. And it was the first time, but I've been addicted to this story of telling people that, oh, I don't get things. I can't remember stuff like that. Oh, I'm not very smart. And, I told myself that because I was in the dumb class in my high school, and I was with all the boys. There was like 12 of us, and there was 2 girls. And, it's just that I learned differently, right? So, but I can go along with the story of like, I'm just dumb, I don't get that, so I'm not going to catch on. Or I can start saying, I'm actually pretty intelligent, I just don't think the same way. So it's about shifting your mindset around your story, right? So the thing is that if you think that you're broken, you aren't going to get better. You're not going to change your story. You're not going to transform your life. You're not going to become the person that you want. So, over the years, I've realized that more than any other addiction, the toughest one for us to get free from is our story. Who we think we are, the story of how we think it is, and the story of what we think we need, right? We've got all these stories running. So, look at your life right now and say, where in my life do I say that there's a certain way that the world is operating and there's a certain way that things happen, and it's always been this way? My story about being stupid or thinking that I'm dumb is just one of them. I have another story playing out right now while I'm on this trip. A friend of mine's here who I really like, and I work with her, and I'm telling myself a story that she's avoiding me and that she doesn't want to talk to me, and that she wants to have her own weekend and doesn't want to connect. So I'm noticing the story that I'm creating that, I'm not enough, that there's something inherently wrong with me. There's some reason why she's not talking to me. And so I can continue to create that story, and I can continue to feel that energy and that resistance, and that feeling like I want to approach her, but then this fear that there's something wrong with me, that I've done something wrong, right? So instead, this morning, I'm going to say something to her, and I'm going to say, I'm creating a story that you don't want to talk to me, that you are avoiding me. I'm noticing this, and this is how I'm feeling. And, I'm going to give her the opportunity to be like, oh my gosh, I've been doing my own story around the same thing. Or she can be like, no, I didn't want to do any work, and I know you and I work together, so I wanted to, really focus on what it is that I need to do today, for myself over the weekend. And So whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. But the point is that I'm creating a story, and it's making me crazy, because I want to have a great time here, and I really want to enjoy myself, and I wanted to spend time with her, so I can continue to create the story. So I have a bigger story going on in my life. As a child, I used to think that people were avoiding me, or people didn't like me, or people were leaving me out, and I would create these stories. And so I would tell my teachers that I was being left out, and people would be like, I see people including you. I don't know why you think that. So it's just an inherent part of me. It's a story that I've been telling myself since I'm younger. But now that I know that I do this story and that this is part of how I show up, I can stop doing it, right? I don't have to continue to be in this story. I don't have to continue to show up this way. And I can just notice it. Oh, there I am. I'm in the story of that I'm not good enough, that nobody wants to be my friend or whatever. I mean, obviously, I'm 53 years old. I know that people want to be my friend. I know that people like me, right? But this is something that continues to come up. So some of you might be like, oh, poor Kristen, I feel so sorry for her that she feels this way. Well, don't feel sorry for me at all. This is totally normal. This is life. And there's something in your life, too, that you have a story around, or there's some place where you don't feel enough. I mean, this is human behavior. None of us feel like we're perfect and everything's going great. So I love this. I love that I'm having this awareness. I'm glad that this happened, because it gives me the opportunity to connect and to say, oh my gosh, here I am creating my story again. And how is this holding me back? This is holding me back from having deeper relationships with people. Because as I walk through, I think, well, I wonder who else doesn't want to be my friend. I mean, it's amazing the little voice in our head that we'll tell ourselves. So, just be aware, what is your story? Who do you think you are? What's the story of how you think life is? And what's the story of what it is that you think that you need, or that you have to have in order to be your greatest version of yourself? Because it's interwoven into every aspect of our identity, we don't see it as an addiction. It's just how it is. But we are actually addicted to our story. So, you may think, well, I've got a drug addiction, alcohol addiction, I may be addicted to Netflix. I may have a screen addiction, social media addiction. There's all kinds of addictions that we have, but it's something that you want to hold on to. It's something that you're focusing on all the time. So you may be focusing on that you have ADD and that you always struggle to learn, or that you, something bad happened to you as a child, that maybe you were abandoned, maybe somebody beat you up and you were bullied. Whatever the story is that you're telling yourself, if you continue to tell that story, it's going to continue to manifest into your life, and you're going to continue to see it over and over again. So we're going to be talking more about this, teaching you about how your story, you're creating these stories, and how it's keeping you from really transforming your life. I'm doing a master class, and it's free, and it's next Tuesday, July 30th, so I would love it if you would join us. And all you have to do is comment below, and then we will send you the link to get registered for that. But just say shift, that you are ready for a shift. Just put the word in shift in the comments, and we will send you that so that you can get registered. But it's a free masterclass. It's going to be an hour long. I'll be doing it in Zoom, and it's going to be Tuesday, July 30th, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 4 o'clock Pacific Time. And I would love it if you would join us, because we're going to be talking about the 5 steps that it takes, the 5 key elements that it takes in order for you to shift your life, to really create the life that you love, to be the person that you want to be, to step into who it is that you know you've come to be. There's a greater version of yourself. We're always feeling this desire for something greater, that we could be greater, but we don't know how to get there. And that's what I'm going to teach you in that class. And one of the things I'm going to focus on is this concept of your story and being addicted to it, and how we can uncover our stories and how we can stop the addiction. So let me just see if there's anything else. So we have these prejudices and biases and opinions that block our ability to have these new experiences. So those are the things that I want to teach you about. I want to help you to uncover what your addiction, what your addictive stories are. Whether it's like you're unhealthy, you're too sick, you'll never be successful. So, if you want a new level of freedom, the story that you have about the things in your life are what's keeping you from being free. So anyway, comment below. I would love it if you would just let us know if you've got questions. Let me know. You can always message me directly. I love talking about this stuff. So I'm in this retreat for the weekend up here in Concord. I cannot tell you the incredible experiences I'm having. I can't wait to share all of the things I'm learning with you guys. This is a place of lots of transformation. There was a lot that went on in the day of Thomas Edison and Henry Ford, and back in the day of even earlier, where we've got Emerson and Thoreau. We're just learning so many great things. So I can't wait to share. So thanks for being here today, and have a great day.